Friday, I just had a great idea. So I sharpened my knife. I got that meat off the grill. I got it just like my wife like it. She like hers overcooked. And that's what we did. So we got the big cleave out. And we're going to do something special. Hopefully she liked this. I thought it was rather different. Let me adjust that camera view a little bit. Get a little higher. A little bit higher. And as you can see, this meat is different cuts. This beef meat. So this is actually the flank right here. I think the one I cut before was just a piece of, and you're telling what? Now, I'm not going to tell you what we cooking. But when you figure it out, let me know. Let me know. I got a little bone in this one. I know that. Now, I'm using a cleaver. I've been having this cleaver for about 20 years, 21 years. And if you notice in my videos, I always tell you the age of the stuff I use. I do that for a reason. You know? Do that for a reason. Because I know you got questions and you're going to want to know. And there you go. So now with the chicken, I'm going to cut it against the grain. Because when you cut it with the grain, it makes it elongated like beef jerky. But when you cut it against the grain, now it's a little bit more tender because you cut that connective tissue that's holding that muscle together. At least that's what they tell me on the internet. All right. I don't know if you ever had that rojo blanco pollo, but if you haven't, you know. Now look, I'm not adding no seasoning to this dish. I'm only letting it season how it was. That's it. I guess we're having a fire drill with our electronic device. I don't know what it wants. I don't know what it wants. And I'm not trying to find out what it wants. Now, if you ever made something like this, you know, this is just an alternative way to do it. Sorry if I got too much of chicken on the board for you to see my knife skills, or lack thereof. How you like that? How you like that? Let's try this again. This technology. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. As you see, it's been one of those days. AI is winning. AI is winning. It's been one of those days. But we're not going to let that beat us. We've been here before AI. And I can tell you now, my sous chef, I don't know what she did with my stainless steel bowl. I don't know what she did with my stainless steel bowl. So you know what? I'm going to use, let's see. This thing, I'm fighting AI. I feel like that man in that movie when he fought that robot, Mr. Legend. Let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time. Sometimes you think content is all peaches and cream, roses and red, you know, tulips and all that other stuff. But it's not. Now, if I leave it like that, the video might be bad. But I got an idea. Instead of fighting this like this, hang out with the chicken. I'm gonna be right back. I'm not going nowhere. But I'm going back to my old school method. Like I told y'all in the video in the past, I'm going back to my old school method. All right? So we're gonna do that like that. See that? When you have technology, sometimes it fails. But knowing how they did it back then can help you do it now. So we got our last piece of overcooked chicken. That rojo blanco pollo. Man, it's so good. So good. I might go bring the wife that piece right there. But I don't want the video to be too long. That is very good. Beef meat, chicken meat. Wash the hands. You gotta wash them hands. Alright. Now, I'm gonna show you that Oaxaca. Come get a piece of this chicken. Get your piece off that board. Get your piece of chicken off that board. The camera ain't gonna bite you. That camera ain't gonna bite you. Let them see your hand so they know you're real. You know? What about that, baby? Huh?
I don't say in the door.
In the door?
They don't have them in the door.
All right. So I was going to show you. Now look, you see her hand keep taking that? You know what that means, huh? That means she greedy. But you know what? That's my fault. Because I've always, since we've been married 23 years, and I do 99% of the cooking. I do about 99% of the cooking. All right. Now we're gonna move production. We're gonna move production to the stove. All right. So let's do it. I'm gonna hold that right down. I'm gonna hold this right here. Let's set that up on the stove. See, I made a drone, a wooden drone, so I could cook on the stove. Now in the stove, we got some butter. All right. Now this is the part you gotta pay attention to. Okay. You put that butter in the stove, and then once that butter melts, we're gonna add our next ingredient. Once that butter melts. Now this ain't gonna be a dish for everybody. And I can tell you now, I'm already messing up. I'm already messing up. But you know what? I'm messing up so you don't have to mess up. You can learn from my mistakes. All right. Okay, we don't want no French butter. When that butter burn, it turn into French butter. And we got a little bit of French in us, but sorry about that camera lens. So now we're gonna add a little flour. How much of flour? That was too much. That was way too much. But since we added too much flour, now we got to get mixing. And you see, I told you it was too much flour. Because you see how our roux ball made? my roux ball ain't did nothing. So you know what? I'm gonna have to add a little bit more butter. Now, Creole Cajun leave his butter out in one of these. That way it be soft. Now I'm gonna wash that in the pot wash. Get the pot washer to wash that. All right. Now what we making a roux. I'm lying to you. Ultimately, we're making a bechamel. Now, if you ain't never heard of bechamel, a bechamel is one of the mother sauces. All right. So we're gonna make this bechamel by adding equal parts fat and flour. And this is how you would start a roux. Melt your butter, then add your flour, or melt some oil, then add your flour. And you see that consistency? That's what we're looking for. Now my heat is high because I like to cook on high heat. But I don't want you on high heat, especially trying to make this. So I'm gonna put a little fresh black pepper in there, fresh cracked. All right. If I had some garlic powder, I'll use it. But we ain't got none, so we ain't gonna use it. We're not gonna worry about that. But I do have real garlic. I just don't want to leave this and let this burn for that. And I don't want it to be what it ain't. So I'm gonna try to keep it what it is. All right, now you see that color? That's almost me. That's if I stay inside for 3 weeks. That's almost me. Now what I want to do, that I got my bechamel started, I want to add some whole milk. I'm sorry if you're vegan, but I want to add some whole milk. Now, I don't have whole milk. So you saw what I just did? I added some heavy cream. Now you might be wondering, why does a person have heavy cream, but they don't have whole milk? There you go. There you go. Now, I know you see what we're doing. See how thick that ain't got? That ain't got real thick. Because that roux is in that pot. And that's fine. So I'm going to stir this until I add the secret weapon to it. Just check it for pepper. Not bad, not bad. But I have to add something else. A little bit of sal. Okay? That wasn't a lot, that was a little bit. And I want to add something else. I just bought this from that market, that Chinese market. Excuse me, that Asian market. And that's white pepper. So typically you use white pepper when you're doing mashed potatoes. But people don't like to see black specks in their food. But white pepper also has a different flavor. And I like it. And I know you will too if you haven't ever had it. But get you some white pepper next time you make mashed potatoes. It don't matter if it's boxed or homemade. Add you some white pepper to that. All right? That smells amazing. But see, the bechamel is in the mix. And always check it for flavor. See, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Not much. Because you know down here in the South, them people got problems with this stuff. And they said that's salt fault. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But don't add too much if you can't handle that. All right. Now, I really wish I had whole milk, but I don't have none, so we're not going to use it. This is just going to make it even that much better. Now, I'm going to cheat in a minute and show you a little hack. Typically, if this was whole milk, I really use too much bechamel, but that's fine. That's fine. That's not a problem. You know what? But we're just gonna add all of this to that, because that was too much of bechamel I'm making. Now, if you believe in mushroom soup, this is where you would add your whole milk, and you would add your mushrooms, salt, black pepper, garlic powder, or garlic, and then you would add all your mushrooms. And you let that cook real good. But I got a secret weapon that I didn't want to use, but I got to use it now because all of my milk then took up. Check that for flavor. That's better. That's better. But we got to add something else. See, I used too much of roux, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of this sea salt. You might say, wow, that's a lot. There you go. And just to show you how much we like it, 1 ball, 2 ball, we don't play. Fastest sea salt in the West. Fastest sea salt in the West. C'est bon. And also, if you're in like science class, this is how you make glue. Flour and water. Well, that look like mashed potatoes, no? Whoo! All right, we're gonna add a little water. Not much, just a little bit. Cause see, the water and that heavy cream, it'll make it whole milk. I really use too much of that bechamel, but that's fine. What I should have did was took some of that bechamel out the pot, because I always could have added it later. But like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just like you. But you know what? I'll tell you what. That's real good. That's real good. I'm gonna add a little bit more white pepper. You could put this on rice and eat that. All right, that white pepper smells good now. Oh yeah. And that's it. That's it. I'm gonna just add that because now what I want to do and what I need to add, I'm gonna take some of this bechamel out. Let me clean this up because you don't want that to stick. Man, that bechamel is fantastic. That bechamel is fantastic. I'm add a little bit more water. A little bit more water. And my sous chef is off today, so I gotta, cook this for the first lady by myself. But I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. Now, once I add that, I'm gonna add the secret weapon. Now, typically, I wouldn't have added water. I wouldn't have added heavy cream. I would have just added milk. Let that milk get hot. You don't want it to scald, so you got to be careful with milk. But you also don't want it to curdle up on you. All right. So you know what? No, I'm not going to do anything. This is looking really good. Now, if you were doing mushroom soup, you add your mushrooms to this, make your mouth run water. I guarantee you. So I'm gonna add the main ingredient, and on the next video, I'm gonna show you what it's like. I'm gonna show you what it's like on the next one. But on this video, because we're about to hit the 20-minute mark, and I don't want it to be too long because it already is, we're gonna add the secret weapon. We got some cotija cheese. We're gonna add that. Add that cojita. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, but you read it right. If you know how to read. If you don't know how to read, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. You gotta keep them hands clean. Clean hands, clean cook. All right. And next up, we have Oaxaca. That Oaxaca cheese. And we're gonna enjoy that. So what we're making is a cheese sauce. So if you make macaroni and cheese, this is how you make it from now on. You make your cheese sauce. You start off with your bechamel. Then add your milk, your salt, your pepper, your garlic. And then you add your cheese, your queso, cheddar, American, whatever not American. That's not real cheese. Don't get mad at me. But you can't even buy American cheese in Europe. So you add your cheese to it. And then, boy, this is looking good. Yeah, I might even make some macaroni for my wife. Hoo-wee! But see, now you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Bob Marley said it best. He said, stir it up. And that's what you got to do. But I got to keep my hands clean so that I can keep cooking. Got to keep them hands clean. All right, now we're going to let this melt. Look at that cheese sauce. So if you wanted to make mac and cheese, you could do it this way. You make your bechamel. Then after your bechamel, you boil your noodles. And then you put this on top of your noodles and mix it up real good. And then you put it in the pan. And then you put a layer of cheese on top. But this bechamel is fire. But now it's a cheese sauce, actually. Because once you add the cheese to the bechamel, it becomes a cheese sauce. So if you want to make gourmet macaroni, this is how you do it. Now, the last thing I'm going to add to this, and then I'm going to end this video. Last thing. I'm going to add the beef meat. The beef meat. The rojo blanco pollo. All right. Oh, man, my camera. Ooh, what a day, what a day. Now the dogs are running over. Y'all better get back now. The hot dog truck is coming. All I got to do is call it. Y'all better get back. I know I don't even like you in the kitchen. I'm going to stir that up like Bob said. Wipe that down because, you know. Ooh, this is going to be good now. C'est bon. And I'm going to just, look at that. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. Now, I hope you figured it out. I hope you figured it out. But what we made here was a steak, cheese, pollo, queso dip. Now, if you're out there in the country, Lafayette area, they'll put a can of Rotel in here. We're not doing that because we're in the city. But look how beautiful that look. Now, in the next video, I'm going to add not a cracker, but a tortilla to this. Now, let me just show you what that's going to look like. This cheese dip. Steak and chicken cheese dip. Let me show you what that's going to look like. So you remember those nopal, chia seeds and cactus? We got them. So what I'm gonna do is let this cheese melt nice and slow. The Oaxaca, the cotija, you know, is infused with that chicken and that beef. Now I'm telling you right now. You know that's good. You know that's good. It don't look like much, but you know that's good. All right, I'm going to get a little bite. I don't want to bite over the food because I don't believe in that. Now, my honest review. I got to add some salt. Yep. I got to add some salt. But other than that, you know, this is fantastic. Fantastic. Jalapenos on top. Whoo! Please believe me. So good.